Welcome to Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Thomas West here alongside Ryan Eakin. It's the London Majors and the Toronto Maple Leafs in a game that doesn't mean a whole lot for the Maple Leafs, but a game that does mean quite a lot for the London Majors. In fact, two places in the standings. A win tonight for the London Majors as Jacob Newton leads things off. Could result in them first place, but a loss tonight could result in third place, and that's a big difference. This is the sweepstakes for the Brantford Red Sox.
Yeah, that's one way of phrasing it. Yeah, this game means absolutely nothing for the Maple Leafs. This is a bullpen game of all bullpen games, and the lineup tonight, it is what it is. But for the London Majors, this means absolutely everything. I mean, this is the ability to play Game 7 of the IBL Finals at home at Labatt Park. So they lose this game, they're facing Kitchener in the first round. They're the third seed, and it'll be Guelph and the Jackfish playing for first place. But if not, it's Guelph London in London tomorrow night.
Jacob Newton rips one on the ground foul.
I have to say, this is easily the most viewers we've had to begin a game. The whole league is tuning into this one tonight, so no pressure, Thomas.
Well, it's always good to see things come down right to the end. Is there strike three call? Jacob Newton thought it was ball four, but he heads back to the dugout. It's always good to see things come down right to the last minute, and this is as last minute as we possibly could, because this game has been rescheduled 2 times already. It was supposed to be on Sunday, then Monday got rained out, and Tuesday got rained out, or Tuesday's today, and here we are finally playing this final game of the IBL regular season. So Zach Sloan on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs this evening. And as we expect, it will be a rotating cast of pitchers for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Damon Topley not wanting, or Garrett Takamatsu not wanting to burn anyone out too much in this final regular season game. As here's the ball hit in the air, and this one's pretty high and deep. Coming over is Connor Lewis. He ranges over, and that one's going to fall in the gap. A throw back into the infield, and that will go down as a double for Wright.
Yeah, that's Carrington out in center. Just wasn't able to make the play. That's a position you'll see Connor Lewis in come later in the game. Once Stan Marr is able to make it to this ballpark. But for now, that's a play that you hope to make, but it falls for Wright. And London has a man on base for Cleveland Brownlee, who he's had a few bombs in this ballpark over many seasons.
Yeah, it's usually Connor Lewis out there. Greg Carrington filling in, but maybe more notably, Dylan Jacober, one of the bullpen pitchers for the Toronto Maple Leafs, is playing left field. Connor Lewis is in at second base, and we expect that Dan Mara will be in the game at second base eventually, and that'll push Connor Lewis back into the outfield. Greg Carrington will probably move over to left.
Yep.
Cleveland Brownlee swings and misses, the leader in home runs and RBIs in the Intercounty Baseball League this season.
Look at Cleveland Brownlee. This has been one of his better seasons in the IBL. He's been in this league since 2010, and sure he is. He's no longer in his prime, but he's extending that prime as many seasons as possible.
He sure is. He's had a fantastic year for the London Majors, and the only guys who could really take away that RBI title for Cleveland Brownlee are Justin Mara and John Salazzo, who are both tied with 47 RBIs and second in the Intercounty Baseball League. As Brownlee stays hot, he lines one in the outfield. That's going to advance right to third base, and now first and third with one out for the London Majors.
And London not wanting to run on the elite arm of Dylan Jacober out in left field. And still a ground ball away. You get a ground ball on a guy like Mullen, you're going to absolutely turn to, barring a defensive mistake. But at the same time, Mullen has not grounded into many double plays this season. He's been one of the better bats in this league.
Well, you say that in a joking way, but what better person to fill in as an arm in the outfield than a pitcher?
No, 100%. I mean, they're athletes too, right?
Yeah. And they have a good arm.
Yeah.
Sloan's pitch is fouled off down the right field line. This is Robert Mullen, who's been one of the best hitters in the Intercounty Baseball League. 405 batting average coming into this game, leads the Intercounty Baseball League in that department.
I think if it wasn't for Claudio Custodio, I think you'd be looking at Mullen as the IBL MVP, but how can you not give it to Claudio and what he's done both on the mound and at the plate this season? He's had one of the great seasons in IBL history.
196 strikeouts for Claudio Custodio this season. Here's a ball line to Jose Venezio. Drop, throw to second for one. On to first. Oh, and it gets out of the glove of Damon Toppoli. And that will go as a fielder's choice and an RBI, and the London Majors lead 1-0.
Yeah, that was a tailor-made double play ball, and that was a right play by Venezio, too, at shortstop, right? Let the ball drop, knowing that you can turn two on a guy like Mullen, but Toppoli drops it, and he continues for London.
So here's Starling Joseph. 9 home runs this season for Joseph. Been a big player for the London Majors, and a 346 batting average. You're going to see a lot of batting averages that start with a 3 in this London Majors lineup. Sloan looks in. The pitch to Starling Joseph. Check swing. He did go around on a ball that was down and in. It's 1-1.
And the one thing about Joseph is he does strike out a lot. No real reason to come in with the fastball, make him chase something. If you put him on base via the base on balls, you have another lefty up next, which is a better matchup for a guy like Sloan.
Joseph takes low and inside, 2-1. 45 strikeouts this season for Starling Joseph and 162 at-bats. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Joseph, an imposing presence there in the batter's box as well, standing at 6'3", 238 pounds. 2 outs. Sloan trying to get out of it. The pitch is lined into the outfield. That one gets over the head of Jose Venezio. And now first and second as Zach Sloan has got knocked around a little bit in this first inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And Sloan is a guy that can absolutely pitch as many pitches as needed, 90, 100 pitches. But in this game, talking to Maple Leafs manager Ty Kamaster prior to the game, anytime at any point he gets any bit of fatigue, he's coming out in this game again. It means absolutely nothing for the Leafs. So this is really just Sloan's last opportunity to get some innings in prior to the playoffs.
So this is Byron Reichstein in the lineup. Just 63 at-bats this season for Byron Reichstein, but he's a big guy in the lineup for the London Majors.
He was the playoff MVP last season, right? I mean, this is a guy that can come up with clutch hits, and he's got some massive pop.
Reichstein hits a ball on the ground to third base. That one's just foul. Toronto Maple Leafs are awaiting Owen Boone, the London, Ontario native, who will be on the mound for the London Majors in this all-important final game of the regular season. This one gets to the backstop. Both runners will advance. Second and third now for the Majors.
And that pitch count getting up there for Sloan. He's 26 pitches here in the first inning, so no, exactly what you want to see from a guy that's not likely to go that many pitches and innings in this game.
Over the inside corner, strike 3 called. Zach Sloan finally gets out of it, but not the London Majors. Get a run on a RBI. Fielders. It's 1-0 London Majors over the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Here's the first pitch from Owen Boone as Jose Venezio shows bunt, but takes strike one. London Majors got one run in the top half of the first inning. Jose Venezio and then Jordan Costaldo will be on deck. The 0-1 to Venezio swung on and missed 0-2.
Boone's the guy that might be one of the harder throwing pitchers in this league. Definitely the best Canadian pitcher by a country mile. No question he's going to be the co-ace to Jose Arias in London this postseason.
The 0-2, this one's fisted on the ground. This could be a tough play. Candell whips one to first just in time. Jose Venezio is retired. And there's one away.
And it brings up Costaldo, who has really only played a couple games in the last month or so after that injury that he suffered, but he wants to get a game in prior to the playoffs, and what better way to do it? The game that, even though it has no meaning to the Leafs, means something to the opposing team. It kind of has a playoff atmosphere around it, and a great opportunity for him to get in the game and perhaps do some damage to London's pennant hopes.
Owen Boone has not lost a game yet this year, 9-0 with a 3.06 ERA. Jordan Costaldo takes the first pitch inside. 101 strikeouts and 73 in the third innings pitched as well for Boone. This one finds the inside corner 1-1.
He's a guy that has professional experience. He pitched in the K&M League back in 2017. So this is a guy that, he has that resume. And there's no question now he's one of the top pitchers in the IBO.
The 1-1 to Jordan Costaldo is way inside 2-1.
What's amazing about a guy like Costaldo, he's missed all this time, and he's still going to end the season with the most walks in the league. So really an amazing season from a guy that's missed the better half of the last month.
Yeah, well, Jordan Costaldo got off to a big head start early in the season. There was a point where he was leading the league in walks by about 30 in the first 10 games or so. Here's a ball hit on the ground by Jordan Costaldo, gingerly jogging to first base, and there's one away. A couple of soft ground balls induced by Owen Boone to start off this ball game. Justin Mara steps to the plate. Boone delivers over the outside corner, strike one.
Interesting to see Mara in that 3-hole. He was a staple in the Leafs 2-hole that last month or so, and he's had an amazing run in that 2 spot. But Takamatsu thinks he's better off in that 3 spot for the Maple Leafs, and it can definitely be a fearsome 1 through 5 for the Maple Leafs. There's no question with Venezio, Costaldo, Mara, Solazzo, and Connect. That really is perhaps the best 1 to 5 in this league.
Owen Boone's 1-1 to Justin Mara. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The London Majors this season, pretty much a clean sweep in the important categories in the hitting department. Robert Mullen leading an average with a .405 batting average, and then Cleveland Brownlee leading in both RBIs and home runs with 52 and 15 home runs. 2-1, swing and a miss, strike 3. Justin Mara goes down swinging, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Owen Boone. In the bottom half of the first inning, the London Majors lead 1-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here. Dan Perrier leading things off for the London Major. Zach Sloan back on the mound for a second inning of work, and the first pitch is hit on the ground. Jose Venezio, tough hop, long throw to first base is way high and over the head of Damon Topley. Bangs up against the fence. And Dan Perrier will stand at first base, and what will likely go as an infield hit, but
yeah.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, it was a tough play for Venezio, and obviously maybe if a taller first baseman like Costaldo was at first base, maybe, but nonetheless, a tough play for Topley at first base.
Here's Andrew Lawrence, another player from London, Ontario. 266 batting average this season and 128 at-bats. Pitches outside. John Salazzo at third is expecting the bunt from Lawrence, but it's 2-0.
He's not biting to simply sacrifice himself. He thinks he can make a play and force Salazzo to make a great play to Topley at first base.
Here's the ball hit on the ground. That one's foul down the third baseline. Andrew Lawrence, one of the younger guys in the Inter-County Baseball League as well, a rookie this year, a 2003 born player. Got some speed as well, 10 stolen bases this season. Struck out just 24 times. There's a pickoff move to first base, and they got him. The lefty Zach Sloan picks off Dan Perrier at first base. And he was heavily leaning towards second. Zach Sloan recognized that, and now there's one away.
We saw it with Venezio a few weeks back, right, where he was simply sleeping at second base. And in that spot there, the London dugout knew he was sleeping, but he himself didn't.
Line drive into center field. That goes as a base hit for Andrew Lawrence. His 35th hit of the season. With one away, it brings up the shortstop, Keith Candell. Keith Candell, a defensive wizard at shortstop, has had another good year offensively. Batting an even 300, and you know batters want to break over that 300 mark. Keith Candell is going to need a hit, maybe two, likely one, to stay above that line here tonight. Something to watch out for.
I've always said it in this league. You always have all these guys say, oh, I don't look at the numbers. I don't look at the numbers. There's not one guy that doesn't know exactly what his batting average is in this league.
Jordan Costaldo claimed he didn't know how many walks he had when I asked.
It's a total lie. He can absolutely knew how many. At worst, he knew he was in first place.
He sounded pretty convinced that he didn't know.
Don't believe it.
Pitch is way outside from Zach Sloan, 2-1. Two one from Sloan. Swing and a miss, strike two.
One of the points in this game that's actually pretty cool. You look at Zach Sloan, Owen Boone, might be two of the top Canadian pitchers in this league. So, in a league that has a lot of Dominicans these days, and guys from Panama and all that kind of stuff, it is nice to see some Canadian content and some high quality Canadian content in guys like Boone and Sloan. So now the Jackfish have two great Canadian pitchers too this season, Rich Carrington and Chris Bowato. But in this game, this might be the two best starting pitchers.
American batter at the plate, and Keith Candell, and he hits one in the air, not particularly deep. Here comes Dylan Jacober. He's coming in. Jose Venezio is going to call him off.
That's the right call.
And he makes the catch, and that looked like it could have been a play for the left fielder, but with the left fielder being a pitcher, Jose Venezio gets out there and makes the catch.
He wanted to make the catch. At least have one out to officially show he was at left field, but Venezio's a pro's pro. He knows to make that play.
Ball hit in the air. This one's pretty well out to left field. Marcus Connect ranges back and he makes the catch. And that will do it for the London Majors in the top of the second inning. They don't score. A better inning from Zach Sloan. It's 1-0 Majors over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We head to the bottom of the second inning from Thomas West and Ryan Eakin. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Back at Dominico Field, Owen Boone back out on the mound for the London Majors, and John Salazzo is the batter, and this is a notable batter in this game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Obviously, this game doesn't mean a whole lot to the Maple Leafs other than just trying to win a ball game, but it might mean something to John Salazzo because he has an opportunity to break the single-season record for RBI set by Sean Riley last year in this game. Sean Riley with 48, and John Salazzo just one away.
It was actually Sean Riley's first stint with the Leafs back in 2013. And obviously, what does that season and this season have in common? They're both expanded seasons, so you're going to see a bunch of franchise, firsts and records be broken for all these teams as the league now extends their season. But yeah, Salazzo, he's one RBI away from tying Sean Riley's 2013 season and 2 away from breaking it. And I don't think anyone really saw that coming.
This one's not going to do it. It's skied in the air on the infield. And this one is going to drop on the infield. John Salazzo had tossed the bat back to the dugout. He thought he was out, and that gray sky here, just approaching twilight, creates problems for the London Majors. Second baseman Jacob Newton, and the Leafs have the leadoff batter on.
I know Newton's not a natural second baseman. He's a guy that prefers to be in the outfield, but that play really doesn't have anything to do with being in the infield or being in the outfield. As you said, that ball was just up in the air, and it really was all coming down for a long time. And as the ball, especially at this time of night, it's easy to lose, and Newton certainly lost that one.
So Salazzo's on first base, nobody out. That will go as an error on the second baseman, Jacob Newton, but you feel for him. That sky is the exact same color as a baseball right now.
And there was, during the break, a drone circling around too,
Yeah.
So maybe some conspiracy going on.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Marcus Connect is the batter for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Connor Lewis on deck. Maple Leafs trying to cash in on the dropped pop-up. Pitch is low in the dirt, 1-1.
And you also say, so obviously, again, that doesn't mean anything for the Maple Leafs standing-wise, but Salazzo does have his record that he's looking at. But, attacking his first home game as manager wants to get a W under his belt. There's no question. He's 500 right now. He wants to head into the playoffs 2-1 as the Leafs manager.
Connect fouls it straight back. 1-2. Marcus Connect, in his just 31 at-bats, joined the Toronto Maple Leafs late as he did last season, this time even later than he did last year. 31 at bats. He's 11 for 31. That's good for a 354 batting average in the regular season. 1 home run, 6 RBIs. Connect at double digits in home runs in his short stint with the Leafs last year. Swing and a miss. That's a foul tip into the glove of catcher Robert Mullen. There's one away.
And it has now Dylan Jacober on deck. And with no Dan Morrow really to be seen right now, it's looking like Jacober is going to get at least one at bat in this game.
And Dylan Jacober, he's a guy who we haven't seen him hit a ton. He says he knows how to hit, and we've seen his stats. He has hit a little bit in college.
Yeah, he played a couple summer collegiate leagues, and he can play. And you have seen it across the league this season, but I'm not expecting like a bases clearing hit kind of thing from Dylan Jacober. But
Dylan might be.
I know he definitely is. He's talking about it, but you gotta think highly of yourself.
Lewis rips one foul right field line. Runner on first base is John Salazzo. Connor Lewis trying to dish one into the outfield. Lewis hitting .284 this season. The 1-1 from Boone. Over the outside corner, strike 2. Connor Lewis coming to this game with a 3-game hit streak, but has had a much better second half to the season than he did first half. In fact, he didn't play a whole ton in the first half, but he's been swinging the bat a lot better of late. Just outside 2-2.
And he's at second base in this game, a throwback to 2016, 2017, when Lewis was really a full-time guy playing shortstop, second base, but he will go back to the outfield at some point in this game, but he begins this game at second base.
The Leafs over the years have been happy to utilize his great speed in center field. Boone, the 2-2 to Lewis. That one's just outside 3-2.
Boone's taking some time in between pitches right now. Maybe that's him and Mullen not on the same page, or maybe that's just the game plan from Boone, wanting to kind of freeze the Leafs batters.
Boone does not walk a lot of batters, just 21 this season. Connor Lewis might have the green light here on the 3-2. Fouls it back.
I think Sonny Salazzo, a guy that has at least somewhat fine speed, it's not a bad idea, right? Because even if a hit by Lewis, it might still take another hit by Jacober to bring home Salazzo. So you may as well get him in motion. Perhaps maybe you can end up with him at third base if Lewis can find some green.
Owen Boone looks in, long look into Robert Mullen. Now he gets his sign. Salazzo not going. The pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. Third strikeout of the evening for Owen Boone, and there's 1 away, or 2 away.
Both outs coming via strikeouts. And Boone right now, there's no question. There's velocity to his pitches right now. That fastball, you can hear the zip on it. And he's gotten Connect and Lewis now to swing through it to begin this inning.
Dylan Jacober will see some strikes with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Damon Topley on deck. Another long wait by Boone. First pitch right down the middle, strike 1.
This is a spot I think you have to make Boone. I think you have to Jacober the green light on this pitch, right? You can't have him fall back the 1-2 and really turn this into a nothing at bat. May as well let him swing. The
0-1. Fouled off. Big rip by Dylan Jacober. Jacober in an 0-2 hole against a mammoth pitcher on the mound for the London Majors and Owen Boone. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. This one's to second base. Newton grabs it, and he will redeem himself, but just barely. That throw in the dirt. Daniel Perrier picking it out. So the Toronto Maple Leafs failed to score. They get a runner on an error, but Owen Boone, other than that, has been cruising through the first 2 innings. 1-0 London Majors over the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. London Majors leading 1-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Back to the 2-hole in this top of the 3rd inning, once again against Zach Sloan. It's Taylor Wright. First pitch is lined into the outfield. Wright got good wood on that one. That one's going to go all the way to the gap. Digging for second is Taylor Wright. Here's the throw. Jose Venezio can't hold on to it, but Wright might have been in there safely. And that will go as a leadoff double for the number 2 hitter in the London Majors lineup. This brings up Cleveland Brownlee.
On that play, maybe should have been able to cut that ball off earlier than possible if you're connecting. That would have held it to a base hit for Wright, but Wright kept running. And I mean, he's a guy that began the season with London, had great success, ended up signing with the Ottawa Titans, but he came back from Frontier Baseball, and now he's in London's lineup. And it's always nice when you get a guy back from the Frontier League and stick him right in that 2 spot. It's always a nice guy to have. Would be nice.
Cleveland Brownlee singled in his last at bat. Takes ball 1.
I think London has a couple of guys in this lineup that can easily see themselves in professional baseball next season. Wright being one of them, and then Jacob Newton being another.
Pitch is in the dirt to Brownlee. Now 2-0, not a position you want to be against the London Majors slugger.
Well, you definitely can't lay in a fastball. There's no question. But at the same time, you can't start adding guys on base here with Mullen on deck.
Swing and a miss, strike 1.
See Adam Moore now throwing in this Maple Leafs bullpen. It's going to be one of those games that I don't expect Sloan to really go more than 3 innings in this game.
Brownlee fouls it off once again. Cleveland Brownlee has been known as a guy who will strike out a couple of times.
Yes.
And this season has, well, actually, it has been, you have to go all the way back to 2011, 2010 that Cleveland Brownlee had a season with a batting average in the 330s. As here's a ball. That one's going to get through the right side. Taylor Wright will stop. Right side, Taylor Wright. Left side, yes, Taylor Wright heads to third. Brownlee is 2 for 2 just to finish off that point. You have to go all the way back to 2010, 2011 to find a season that Cleveland Brownlee had something up in the 330s in terms of batting average. He's also struck out the most times he ever has in his IBL career. It's almost doubled what he did last season. Obviously, that was a short season last year. 46 strikeouts for Cleveland Brownlee.
Might be his last game ever at Christie Pitts. You know, he wants to put on a show if that's the case, but I got a funny feeling you'll see Brownlee back in that London lineup next season.
I have a very good feeling about that too, yes. Especially with the season he's been able to put up this year.
See, I thought he was going to be done after last season, end on a high, got a championship. That's amazing, but he came back, and I think that was the right call for both him and London.
Pitch is way outside. Ball 2. Zach Sloan takes a moment. May have lost the strike zone a little bit in this at-bat here to Robert Mullen.
This London lineup is not easy at 3, 4, 5 spots with all these right-handed bats that have massive power between Brownlee, Mullen, and Joseph. There's no question.
Especially against the lefty, Zach Sloan. 3-0 now to Mullen. He might have the green light here with first and third and nobody out. We'll see.
Absolutely.
He does, and he hammers one into left field. Jacober, it's just over his head, and it clangs off the wall. Cleveland Brownlee will make it as far as second. Wright, the runner at third base, will score, and it's 2-0 London Majors.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a play. The ball was hit with great velocity. There's no question. That's a play that a regular outfielder makes. I mean, that wasn't even anything that Dylan was really capable of making on that play, but the inning continues for London, and you see Takamatsu go down to that loose bullpen down third baseline, just checking in on the status of Adam Orr.
Not to take away from the exit velocity that came off the bat on that ball by Robert Mullen. That was laced into the outfield. And the Maple Leafs are lucky he didn't get under that a little bit, or else that would have been a moonshot to left field. So Cleveland Brownlee at second base. Robert Mullen's at first. Joseph Lyons went into the outfield. Brownlee will stop at third, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for the London Majors, and they have a chance here to really blow this game open.
And it is a lefty right now up for London and Reichstein, but you see the Leafs bullpens, or Leafs catcher Justin Morrow is going to come in and talk to Sloan for a bit, but still a ground ball away from keeping this inning somewhat close, but this game could quickly get away, and London most certainly wants that. They don't want this game coming down to the 8th inning, because we all know anything can happen here at Christie Pitts.
Zach Sloan will probably like to preserve this ERA as well. That's climbed a little bit at the end of the year, but he's had a dazzling season with a 3.88 ERA, 59 strikeouts and 58 innings pitched coming into this game. But he's going to need to really work some magic to get out of this one. Pitch is outside, 2-0.
It begins with throwing a strike. There's no question. I mean, you still have to understand you're a ground ball away on a guy like Wright, like from turning two. At least defense can make the play.
That one's on the inside corner, 2-1. I'm wondering if this changes the thought process from manager Garrett Takamatsu about what happens in the playoffs in terms of pitching. With the outing that Sloan has had. Here's a line drive into the outfield. This will score 1 and maybe 2. Robert Mullen is chugging around third base. Throw comes into third and gets away. The runner at second is in easily. And that's 4-0 for the London Majors here in the top of the third.
And you see Tack now about to come out. This might be, just to talk to him, I got a funny feeling this is going to be the end of Zach Sloan's night. Simply no reason to overtax him again in a game that really doesn't mean anything for the Leafs.
So Byron Reichstein delivers. That will be RBI number 11 and 12 on the season for him. But remember, just 63 at-bats to Reichstein this season.
Looks like he might stay in. Tack's going to offer his advice. Really, perhaps more than anything, buy time for a fellow lefty in that bullpen in Adam Orr.
Well, this will be the final tune-up for all of these bullpen pitchers and all starting pitchers as well for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but this is not the team you want to face for a tune-up.
No, I mean, the Leafs, I guess if you're a pitcher, absolutely not. It does. There's two ways to look at this game, right? You can look at it and say, oh, man, we can come in, we can play spoilers, we can knock out London. At the same time, they're doing Guelph and London a favor, so there really isn't any benefits to really doing any of that. So for the Leafs, this really is just a tune-up game for them. And, if the game's close, maybe Tack starts managing the game a bit close, and maybe tries to see London drop to third in the standings. But really, this is really just getting through this ball game. If that means allowing X amount of runs, Garrett Takamatsu, he's going to be okay with that.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are enjoying Guelph and Whalen being their biggest fans here in this game.
It's not going so well for them right now, but
no. 2 on, nobody out. They're at second and third. Check swing by Dan Perrier. He went around.
See, it is interesting though because like the Leafs and Baycats have known for weeks now that they were going to face each other. Yet this game still determines the other 3 playoff matchups. So it really is interesting how this season panned out.
For the London Majors, it's the difference between first place, which would see them face the Brantford Red Sox, or a third place finish with a loss tonight that would see them play the Kitchener Panthers.
No, potentially first place. You would have to host Guelph tomorrow night to determine a 1-game playoff.
Right. Here's a pitch in the dirt. It gets away. Starling Joseph comes in and scores, and it's 5-0 London Majors, a 4-run third inning, and they still have a runner on third base with nobody out.
But I do think this game is big for London because even if you lose Claudio tomorrow, which is most certainly a possibility, it's tough to envision Guelph losing that game. What it does do is it at least gets you home field advantage in round 2.
Here's a ground ball. That one gets up the middle. Dan Perrier delivers an RBI, and it's 6-0.
And that's going to do it for Zach Sloan. This one, simply no reason to keep him in this ball game. Garrett Takamatsu is going to take him out.
So here comes Tack from the dugout. We assume it will be Adam Mara coming in. We'll have more on that when we come back. It's Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Andrew Lawrence will lead it off. This is the Woodbine Racetrack. Call to the bullpen as Adam Mara comes out of the pen for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mara, a sidewinding lefty. An ERA just under 6 this year for the Maple Leafs.
He can give the Leafs a couple of innings in this game, but at the same time, you want him as an option whenever the playoffs begin. That schedule will come out sometime tomorrow once this game wraps up, and we have a decent amount of clarity on all the matchups across the league this postseason.
Ball is fouled off. 1-2 on Andrew Lawrence.
And you kind of asked it. I didn't dodge the question, but the game continued. You mentioned, does this perhaps change the plans in terms of the rotation? I would say outside of Angel Castro pitching game 1, this really is going to be a bullpen of committee, right? You're going to have some openers, and Garrett Takamatsu will get creative in terms of how he goes about these games. I don't think you're going to see Castro game 1 and then Guy pitches game 2 and he pitches 7 innings. It really is going to be a bullpen series for the Leafs, and he can do that in a best of 5.
Mara walks the first batter he faces on a full count. Brings up Keith Candell, the number 9 hitter for the Majors. Still nobody out. The London Majors very much knocking at the door as Cantel fouls it straight back. Jacob Newton is on deck. Then Cleveland Brownlee will bat again, and Taylor Wright will bat again.
And one might say, oh, you can't leave a soft throwing lefty interface in line of righties, but the Leafs are not going to be playing matchups in this game. This is really just getting through 9 innings.
Ground ball to third. What a pick by John Salazzo. Throw to second. It's dropped by Connor Lois. Throw to first, and everyone is safe. And the Maple Leafs kicking the ball around the infield a little bit. That was a great pick to start things off. But a guy playing out of position at second base and Connor Lewis, and that costs the Maple Leafs an out, maybe two.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're getting Candel at first base, but yeah, that absolutely has to be caught by Lewis, and some sloppiness to be expected. Not making life any easier on the pitchers right now who are just really trying to get through this ball game.
6-0 Majors, bases loaded, nobody out again. And here's Jacob Newton getting his first at-bat of the inning, and then we go to round 2 for London Majors. Here's the ball ripped down the line. That one's just foul. Jacob Newton missed an RBI double down the line by about a foot. Newton had a pretty extended hit streak, ended against the Guelph Royals. That was part of a 2-0 loss by the London Majors, and boy, oh boy, was that ever impactful in their last game. A game which the London Majors only recorded 3 hits. As here's the ball ripped into the outfield. That one gets down. It'll be an RBI single and nothing more. Perrier scores, and it's 7-0 Majors. Bases still loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, you go back to that game on Friday night. I mean, it was the total opposite of this game, right? I mean, that was, in my opinion, one of the great performances in IBL history from a pitching perspective. You look at that outing by Claudio Custodio, it was something special.
Yeah, complete game, just allowed 3 hits, struck out 15 batters. Fouled straight back. This is Taylor Wright getting his second at-bat of the inning. Taylor Wright is 2 for 2. Cleveland Brownlee on deck is 2 for 2. Wright takes a slow breaking ball inside, 1-1. With those 2 hits, Taylor Wright has got that batting average up over 390. Next one's in the dirt, 2-1. Here's a ball hit in the air. This one's not particularly deep, or maybe it is. It was lost by the right fielder, Marcus Connect. That's a grand slam for Taylor Wright. The Majors lead 11-0.
They always say, you hear the fans now chanting, "No lead is safe," but I'm not paying my money on a comeback.
That was a phenomena of a baseball hit out to right field. It didn't look deep. Marcus Connect came in a little bit, drifted back, and then said, actually, I don't know where this baseball is, and then ended up over the fence.
I have a funny feeling the viewership from people in Guelph and Whalen might be dipping off soon. Sorry for not being able to be of any help.
I'll tell you what, though, it doesn't matter what the lead is. It won't quiet the Bushmen out there in left field. We had a great segment with Elliot Hill on Leafs Weekly. It was fantastic to talk to him, and you know they're a fun group of guys down the left field line. And you can head over to the Maple Leafs YouTube channel to take a look at what they had to say. But we talked a little bit about being a Bushman and what it means to be a Bushman and their philosophy. And Mackenzie had a great question too about how they come up with their chirps, which I thought was pretty interesting. Swing and a miss by Cleveland Brownlee, strikeout number 46 on the season.
Cleveland,
one away.
doing really nothing, swinging for the fences and that at bats, some ugly swings. He sees a soft throwing lefty and he wants to hit a nuke, but he does anything but. At least finally have an out. You don't see many innings where you got 10 runs prior to an out happening, but that's indeed the case tonight.
The London Majors have been filling up the score column. 1 in the first, none in the second, 10 in the third. Swing and a miss by Robert Mullen, 1-1. Mullen's 1 for 2 today with a couple of RBIs. That one's over the inside corner, 1-2.
And since we have an 11-0 game, I'll ask you a question.
It's only the top of the third.
Well, hey, I'm going to pace myself.
Okay.
Each team has to give to the league one player to nominate for their MVP. If you're London, you got Jose Arias, Owen Boone, Robert Mullen. Who do you give it to? I mean, those are 3 excellent candidates.
Here's the ball ripped into the outfield. That one's lined and caught. Okay, not Robert Mullen anymore. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, I'd say Mullen too, but
I think it is Robert Mullen, but I think Jose Arias is
yeah,
a really good candidate as well. We've had the pleasure of watching a couple of Jose Arias starts, and it didn't go well for the Maple Leafs here at Christie Pitts. I think it's Robert Mullen, a 400 batting
and he's
average.
played a primary position.
Yeah. Who do you have for the Leafs?
You know what? I was debating this with an unnamed source earlier today, and I'd say Justin Marr. He plays almost every game. Again, we talk about primary position. Leads the team in home runs, second in walks. Costaldo would have been my guy prior to his injury.
Yeah.
But the guy I was talking to said maybe John Salazzo. I thought that was interesting, but his second half has been brilliant. But I say Justin Marr. My first half pick, I think it would have been Zach Sloan.
This one's popped up. This could get the Leafs out of the inning. Damon Topley in foul territory. Oh, and this one drops right in front of Justin Mara.
I don't think Damon saw the ball, and I don't think Mara thought it was going to be his ball, but
it's a tough sky.
It is. A lot of fly balls.
John Salazzo's an interesting candidate. I just don't think he's put up enough power.
Well, he's second on the team in home runs. I mean, that's maybe something that he might break tonight. He's 2 home runs back of Justin Marr. He's at 9, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, he is at 9.
Given that he was at none in early July. But
yeah,
I'd say Justin Marr is my guy.
Here's a ball hit on the ground. To be continued. Throw on to first. Inning over. The London Majors score 10. They lead 11-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We head to the bottom of the third inning. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. 11-0 London Majors over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Owen Boone is back on the mound in what must feel like an eternity since the last time he pitched. Way back in the second inning.
Yes.
We're in the bottom of the third. Damon Topley leading things off.
So it always has to be interesting having your first at bat of the game and it's 11-0.
Zach Sloan's been great so far. Struck out 3 through 2 innings. Pitches high and outside to Damon Topley. It's 1-1. "19 strikes and just 10 balls for Owen Boone. The 1-1. That's inside, 2-1. Damon Topley hitting .239 this season. Damon Topley getting his first at-bat of the ball game. Half the London Major lineup is already on their third at-bats. Topley fouls it off 2-2.
And I see Dan Moore, the savior of this game, getting loose down the third baseline. He's going to come in, play some second base, and lead the comeback in that order.
Topley trying to get something started for the Maple Leafs. He takes right down the middle. Strike 3 called, and there's one away. Greg Carrington, the number 9 hitter, with his first at-bat of the evening, hitting .288 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's strikeout number 4 already for Owen Boone.
I do wonder how much longer Rip Channerdat leaves.
Line drive. That one's down the line into the outfield. Cut off quickly by the left fielder. And that is the first hit of the ball game for the Maple Leafs.
I wonder how much longer Rip Channerdat leaves Owen Boone in this game.
Mm-hmm.
It is 11-0. No lead is safe. I get all that. I love the chance, and no lead is safe for Chrissy Pitts. That is true, but I just wonder because if you go Jose Arias in that one game pennant game, if he pitches that game against Guelph, you likely won Owen Boone for game 1. Now, if it's Brantford, it's Brantford, so that is what it is. But if it's Hamilton, I still think Hamilton might be a team capable of an upset of some kind.
And the Brantford Red Sox finished off this season 2-39.
They're not providing an upset.
I don't think it's a huge deal for this London Majors team, whether they play Kitchener or Brantford. Those are two teams that they have been able to handle pretty well this season. Well, very well this season.
Yeah, it's mostly just about having home field advantage all the way through the playoffs. Now, if you win this game, you avoid Guelph until the finals. That would set up perhaps a London Toronto first round or second round, or a London Baycats second round, which might be perhaps easier than facing the Jackfish in round 2. Although I think that's a pretty even tier. So I think it's mostly just about having home field advantage the entire way through the playoffs. And they're also a franchise that takes great pride in their pennants. They've done team photos after winning pennants and stuff in the past. So.
Well, I think a lot of teams do a photo after they win a pennant.
I was with the Baycats for
Really?
And I meant absolutely nothing to them. It was about a dog pile at the end of the season. The pennant meant absolutely, and I mean absolutely.
A dog pile and no photo.
No. I mean, it was all about the dog pile at the end of the absolute playoffs, winning the chip. No, they did nothing to recognize winning the pennant. They even won a one-game playoff in 2019 to win the pennant, and it was as if they won a game in May. So that was just the different type of mindset for that Dynasty Baycat team.
1-2 to Jose Venezio. Fisted into center field. This one's dropping, but not in time. Caught by center fielder Andrew Lawrence, and there's 2 away. Jordan Costaldo's 0 for 1. Comes in for a second at bat. against Owen Boone. And despite all the injuries and everything that Jordan Costaldo has had to battle through, he still had another really good season offensively, hitting .350 for the Maple Leafs. Would love to cap off his regular season with a hit in this game against London. Fouls it straight back.
To me, in this league, pound for pound, if I need a guy to give me that bat, I'm still taking number 5 on the Maple Leafs. He's tough to strike out. He puts the ball in play, and he has the moment for greatness in terms of a clutch moment. So I'm still taking Costaldo over any batter in this league come playoff time. But that Mullen guy in London, no question, he's up there too. I mean, he doesn't strike out. He really truly is a professional hitter in the semi-professional league.
Jordan Costaldo sees a walk or a hit as a win against that one-on-one battle with the pitcher. And for years and years, Jordan Costaldo almost wins 50% of the time.
That's exactly it. Like, he's had on-base percentages. When he won that Triple Crown back in 2019, his OBP was over 500. So he was getting on base more times than not, which is just astronomically insane when you really think about this is sport of baseball. It really is. You get on base a quarter of the time. You're a rich man. So he had quite the season. 2019 is once again had another great season.
It's a game of failure, but not always for Jordan Costaldo. Two outs, 2-1 on Jordan Costaldo. Majors leading 11-0. That one swung on and missed 2-2. So Jordan Costaldo will finish with the exact same amount of games he played for the Maple Leafs last year, and what we thought was just an incredible season where he hit .323. That's not incredible by Jordan Costaldo's standards, but he's going to finish this season with a batting average over .350 in the exact same amount of games, 30. Here's the ball hit on the ground, tricky hop for Newton. He picks it up, throws on to first in time to get Jordan Costaldo. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are stumped with just the one base runner on that single by Greg Carrington. It's 11-0. London Majors over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We head to the top of the fourth inning. Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here with you. It's Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. First pitch is lined into the outfield, and that one gets down. That's a base hit for Byron Reichstein. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Top of the fourth inning, 11-0 London Majors. They have one on with nobody out. Dan Perrier comes to the plate.
So we now have the expected changes. Dan Marr is now in at second base, moving Lewis to center field, and that moves Carrington to left, and Jacober's out of this game.
Here's a ground ball. Jose Venezio fields it quickly, whips one onto first just in time to get Dan Perrier one away, but the runner does advance to second base. Perrier's 2 for 3. Andrew Lawrence is 1 for 1 with a walk. Keith Candell reached first base on an error. He's on deck. And Keith Candell's batting average just below 300, deflected by the pitcher Mara, and it gives Dan a chance to make the play. So the pitch to brother Justin, to the mound to Dan, and on to his other brother, or Adam on the mound and Dan at shortstop. A play that had Mara's written all over it. And there's 2 away. If you don't know, there's the trio of Mara brothers on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Brother Justin is behind the plate. Adam is on the mound. Dan Mara at second base. That's a family of brothers that have been with this Maple Leafs organization for a long time. Here's a ball ripped down the left field line. Oh, and look out. There was a pitcher warming up in the Maple Leafs bullpen, and it just missed him.
That wasn't just a pitcher. I think it was Dustin Richardson.
Am I going to get in trouble from calling him just a pitcher? I didn't know.
I think he can survive a ball hit to him. He's the Undertaker. I mean,
what? Where are we making this up from? Ball on the ground at third base. Throw to first. Toppoli comes off the bag, but he did all he can to stretch for it. Might go as an infield hit. Keith Candell was busting it down the line. That would get Keith Candell back to the 300 mark in batting average.
Should be interesting if that scored a hit. I don't think you can score that a hit. Although Candell does have tremendous speed coming out of the batter's box.
Can if you have point streak in your hands.
Oh, there you go.
They call him the Undertaker. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he's not the Undertaker. He comes out to the Undertaker music, and Castro especially loves calling him Undertaker.
But you know what? We just haven't seen a ton of
well,
Dustin
the best is
Richardson.
yet to come on that.
Ground ball to second. Dan has it. Throws to first, and that will do it. The error doesn't end up costing the Toronto Maple Leafs, but the London Majors lead 12-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. The bats for the Maple Leafs coming up. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Justin Mara leading things off, and then John Salazzo will be on deck, and we have a watchful eye on John Salazzo with that RBI single season record.
Yes.
Here's a ball hit into the outfield. That one's going to drop, so the door is open for John Salazzo, who comes to the plate. That's a leadoff single for Mara.
Should I have told him prior to the game? Or is it better off, hey, John, you actually broke the record. Like, where do you stand on telling athletes about milestones they are on the verge of breaking?
Well, didn't you hear it from Damon?
No. I kind of had a feeling that it was the record, but I asked Damon. I just want to make sure that Sean Riley had the record in 2013. Right. I knew otherwise that it was his, so I brought that conversation up to Damon. But I didn't tell John.
You shout really loud.
Yeah. I mean, the thing though is, like, I wouldn't be the only person yelling at Christy Pitts. Well, right now, nice crowd on a nice Tuesday night. I can give it a shout.
He could break the record with one swing.
He absolutely could, yeah, and he would not know it.
You'd have to go down and tell him.
I'd have to say, John, congratulations.
Congratulations, John. I'm Ryan Egan.
Yeah, it's 12 to you. I got great news for you.
Here's the 0-1 from Boone. It's way inside, 1-1.
See, it is a nice crowd, though, right? I mean,
yeah, for a game that's not on the usual Sunday afternoon or Wednesday night.
A lot of young people at the game.
Yep. Here's the ball hit on the ground sharply to Newton. Bobbles it. Throw to second for one. On to first. Not in time. John Salazzo beats it out. It's a fielder's choice on a ball that was scorched on the ground by John Salazzo.
And also, you experienced it last fall, but I am looking forward to the pits, especially on a night game. See what it's like come playoff time, and the people that come out and the crowd and guys down the baseline said they might be getting a speaker. And if those guys got a speaker coming for this matchup coming up against the Bay Cats, look out! Look out!
We might have to put a lid on that, actually.
No. As a director of gaming operations, I encourage it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Wow. And it was Justin Mara's mom that gave it to them. So
okay, well, that's fine then.
Yes. Well,
as long as it's a mother who gave it to them.
They said on their most recent podcast that Josh Matlow, the Bay Cats president, offered them free tickets to Game 2. So I'm not sure if he knows what he's getting himself into, but it's always nice to see the IBL
getting himself into a speaker.
Yeah.
Marcus Connect is the batter. Pitches right down the middle, 1-1. Marcus Connect hitting .354. 6 RBIs, but remember, that's just in 31 at-bats for Connect this year. Came over from coaching in pro ball, and now he's here as a right fielder for the Maple Leafs once again. Ball ripped down the line, just out of the reach of the third baseman, Taylor Wright. That's a hard hit single for Marcus Connect. So the third hit given up by Owen Boone. He struck out 4, hasn't walked a guy yet. .69 pitches thrown by Owen Boone here in the bottom of the fourth inning. He's got 1 out, but could get out of it with a ground ball. Majors leading 12-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I'd be pretty surprised if you see Boone pitch beyond 5 innings in this game.
Here's a ball hit in the air by Connor Lewis. Back to the wall, and it's off the wall. Connor Lewis will stop at first base. Long throw to the plate, and it's a little bit up the line as Robert Mullen comes in to cut it off. But the Maple Leafs grab their first run of the ball game, scored by John Salazzo. It's 12-1.
I thought that ball was gone, but it absolutely died at the last second. And Lewis was looking for a second home run, and now you got fans chanting, "No lead is safe," and it's true. No lead is safe at the pits.
Connor Lewis has to settle for a single just because runner at first base and Marcus Connect had to hold up because that ball was pretty close to being caught as well.
Not London, the umpires were gathering for a moment, but
I don't see how that could be a home run, really.
Well, it definitely wasn't a home run, but they can't say anyone left the base early because it was a base hit, so
right.
That was not an issue.
Just wanted to see how everyone's
maybe
doing.
Just making sure that Tack maybe put Dan Marr on the game card, perhaps.
Maybe.
Just making sure a rookie mistake by a manager in his first week.
Well, he is a rookie manager.
That he is, yes. Yeah. And he's replacing a legendary manager. And although Damon did want to tell me that he never won anything as a Leafs manager. As a field manager, he had no championships. He said he might be the worst field manager of all time. So
really,
that's what he told me. I said, don't be so down on yourself. I said, I'm not including that in the press release.
He's 2 bunt singles this season.
And that's what I told him. Like,
what manager has 2 bunt singles?
Nobody. Some other managers have tried to play, but not to the success of Damon Topley.
Here's Dan Mara. Ball is in the dirt. 1-1. Mara and then Topley on deck. 1 out. Maple Leafs trying to tack on a few runs to make this one interesting in the bottom of the 4th inning. And this is the first blemish on the innings row by Owen Boone. Outside, 2-1.
Justin Richardson looks like he'll be coming into this game for perhaps an inning. Well, I always wonder, a guy like Richardson, can he pitch in a 12-1 game? And he's a guy that comes in and the adrenaline's pumping. And it's always interesting to see if a guy like that can just mop up a game, even though he only be pitching 1 inning. It's still interesting.
The 2-1 to Mara. Way inside, 3-1. Owen Boone in jeopardy of walking his first batter of the ball game, which would load the bases for the Maple Leafs. A ground ball could change that completely. Boone looks in. Here's the 3-1 to Dan Mara, who's been swinging the bat as well as anyone this season. He takes over the inside corner, strike 2.
And if I'm Boone, I'm going to a fastball here right down the pipe. Everything you got velocity-wise, because he has blown some fastballs by some Leaf batters in this game.
He's got lots of velocity on the mound for the Majors. The 3-2 count to Dan Mara. Hit in the air pretty well, but foul down the right field line. Damon Topley waiting on deck, struck out looking in his first at-bat. Greg Carrington's on deck. He already has a single in this ball game. Got the first hit of the game for the Maple Leafs. Another long look in by Owen Boone. Here's the 3-2 to Mara. Fouled off right side once again. Now finally the pitch count starting to climb up for Owen Boone. Now throwing.
Nobody's up in that London bullpen. You see some guys stretching and that, but this is definitely going to be Owen Boone's inning. I just don't know how much longer you want to go with this guy in a 12-1 ball game.
68 pitches so far, or 58 pitches for Boone. Another 3-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike 3 called. Dan Mara thought it was ball 4, but evidently painting the corner was Owen Boone. Here comes Topley.
There wasn't inside. It was definitely a sell job by Dan Mara on that one, but top of the Christie Hill side. I'm going to say it was a little bit inside, but Owen Boone will take that. And as also the game goes on, it naturally you see the umpire expand the strikes a little bit too early in this game for that.
12-1 Majors. Maple Leafs with runners on first and second and 2 away. Topley lines one into the outfield. That one gets over the head of Newton, and 1 run is going to come around and try and score. Here's the throw to the plate, not in time. Marcus Connect circles around from second base, and the Maple Leafs now trail by just 10.
Get 3 runs, 1 inning, a couple the next, and just like that, before you know it, the 8th and 9th innings get quite interesting here at the pits.
Connor Lewis advances to third base on that single. Topley stands at first. Greg Carrington singled in his last at-bat down the left field line. Owen Boone now has a season total of 106 strikeouts as well for the majors. Here's a little tapper by Greg Carrington. It falls. It's a fair ball. The throw to first is not in time. Connor Lewis comes in to score. It's 12-3. That'll go as an infield single for Greg Carrington. It cashes in another run. There's first and second once again with 2 outs. Owen Boone just trying to get out of this inning, and Jose Venezio is standing in his way. Here's the first pitch to him. Way upstairs. 1-0.
And Boone has thrown a lot of pitches this inning, and that London bullpen remains empty.
Jordan Costaldo, hopeful of an at-bat, awaiting on deck. Up and away. Ball fouled straight back. Jose Venezio looks skyward. So that one was something he thought he could hit. It's 2-1.
The Leafs were on their feet defensively a lot in the top of the third inning, and now in the bottom of the fourth inning, no question this has gone on for a bit. London's defense, you can see them getting a little restless, but Boone's still 1 pitch away from getting out of this.
Pitch to Jose Venezio. Outside corner, strike 2. Owen Boone, once again, has not walked a batter in this game. He's got close, but he's made big pitches when he's needed to. Two-two to Jose Venezio. And if the Maple Leafs really want to make this one interesting, they got to keep the line rolling with 2 outs. Boone has Venezio right where he wants him. The 2-2. Upstairs, check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. As the umpire standing out at second base, and it's 3-2. Another long at bat and 3-2 count for Owen Boone here in the bottom of the fourth. Maple Leafs have already cashed in 3. Boone looks in, deep breath, comes set. The 3-2. High, ball 4. Venezio heads down to first base. The bases are loaded for one of the best hitters in the Inter-County Baseball League in Jordan Costaldo.
And this is the one thing you don't want to do at this ballpark if you're an opposing team that has a big lead. You don't want to get the fans back into it. You don't want that offense to think that, wow, we're 1 spin away from getting this a little bit more interesting. That's now certainly the spot the Leafs are in now. They're a base hit away here from one of their best bats, one of the best bats in league history, from really making this a bit more interesting. I just wonder, as that London bullpen remains empty, just how much longer do you let Boone just really tax himself this inning by throwing so many pitches?
Owen Boone continues to pound the strike zone, but is now has the pitch count up to 66.
And it's just not, he's allowing hits, he's allowing base runners. He's had a couple full counts. It's been a real grind of an inning for Owen Boone.
Batter is Jordan Costaldo. Costaldo is 0 for 2 this evening. Here's the 1-0 from Boone. Costaldo is way out in front on a breaking ball. It's 1-1. Jordan Costaldo would love to find a gap and try and cash in 2, maybe 3. But Boone still could be just 1 pitch away from getting out of it. Jordan Costaldo hits it on the ground. Jacob Newton feels it, throws onto first base. So the Toronto Maple Leafs make it interesting in the bottom of the 4th inning, but leave the bases loaded. It's 12-3. London Majors over the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention for a moment, please. The Toronto Maple Leafs have operated here in the Inter-County Baseball League for 53 seasons. And we have a lot of great players who have come down the pipe. One of them playing here tonight is telling us this is his last regular season game in the Inter-County Baseball League. Jason Copley came on after playing 3 seasons in Stratford and has played 24 years for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He is our all-time leader in at-bats, games played, hits, RBI. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and acknowledge the great Inter-County career of our leader, number 7, Damon Tappole.
Taylor Wright will lead things off for the London Majors in the top of the 5th inning. 12-3 Majors leading over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Leafs got 3 in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Adamara back on the mound for the Leafs. Wright hammers one right field line foul right into the London Majors bullpen.
I'd be lying, Thomas, if I said I wasn't a bit emotional after that Damon Topley tribute in between half innings. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I let the music did a lot.
Yeah, the music added to it. Say that much.
Hope we don't get a copyright infringement on YouTube.
I think
Damon's had a here's a ball hammered in the air. coming in is Marcus Connect. He makes a running catch, and there's one away. Damon Topley's had a fantastic career in the Intercounty Baseball
One of the best
League.
to ever do it. Yes.
You talk about the impact that guys have had on the field with the batting average and the amount of hits he's had and at-bats and being a first baseman and a catcher and a manager and doing so much for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But he's had an impact off the field as well, works with kids, helping develop them as catchers. And Damon Topley's an all-around great guy for the game of baseball.
Well, especially this league, too, and you kind of touched on it with all these young guys, too.
Ground ball to third base. John Salazzo waits. Cleveland Brownlee jogging to first base. There's 2 away.
This is a league that has really gained an importance over many last 5 or 6 seasons, and the quality of baseball has been enhanced as a result. But this league, deep down, really is about local Canadian baseball players. And you look at the guys that he's brought in. We saw it this summer, right, with Luca Boscarino and Ava McCaskey and Brady Sokornik. And in years past, we saw it with a guy like Takamatsu, who, when he's playing in this league, is the best player in this league. And Greg Carrington, and the list goes on. I mean, he's coach of the OBJs, and he's coached now at that Mississauga program. And not many guys better for baseball in Ontario than Damon Topley.
And although we have been told that this is the last regular season game for Damon Topley, we will see him in the playoffs, and we'll see a lot more of Damon Topley around the game of baseball and the Toronto Maple Leafs, you'd have to imagine.
I think next April, the itch is going to come back out. The Leafs are going to need a backup catcher, and then, Damon's back, and now he's playing every game again.
Or maybe a manager.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think Tak's a high-quality manager in this league.
It's incredible. You go from MVP to behind the bench.
Well, who knows what's up next year for? Maybe he's president. I mean,
maybe he's in the broadcast booth. He
is liking the manager role, though. He is. Well, I wanted him on the broadcast.
Because I asked him today, and he said it was weird.
Well, that part is definitely true. that was my first reaction to it, too. Second reaction, actually. But.
Robert Mullen will head down to first base. He takes the walk.
Oh, I walked in today, and I saw the Leafs lineup done at 6:30, an hour prior to the game. So that was, a franchise first in terms of it being done that early. But no, I saw, in the hands of Garrett Takamatsu. I didn't ask Damon for the lineup. It's a bit strange.
Yep. He's got a nice mustache, too.
He does. Well, he's definitely the best-looking manager in the league.
Oh.
Now, I mean, Damon obviously had that title prior to Tak, but now it's Tak for sure.
So Robert Mullen takes his second walk of the ball game. He stands at first base. Adamara was cruising through this inning, but now some adversity. There's a breaking ball way out in front. Starling Joseph. Joseph's 2 for 3 this evening.
Tak might set an IBL first. If his first, also at least not likely to come back and win this ball game.
Joseph hammers a ball to right field. That one gets down. Greg Carrington will chase it all the way to the wall. I don't think this will be enough to cash in Mullen. Ball is bouncing around on the infield for the Maple Leafs. Starling Joseph tumbles over the bag at second, but gets up, and he's all right. That's the last thing either of these teams would want is an injury in this final game of the regular season.
Well, and Takamatsu was clear prior to the game. He doesn't want to see what's happened there in that case, right? Like any play that you might have to put your body on the line, maybe make it 2-3 days from now, not tonight. But no, I mean, I was going back to that point of Tak. I mean, the Leafs will come back and win this game, and at least end up winning at least one home playoff game. His first win as an IBL manager is going to come in the playoffs. That will be in the IBL first. I can promise you that much.
This one's fouled off. Second and third. 2 outs here for the London Majors. Byron Reichstein is the batter, and there is... Oh, my goodness, there's a skunk on the field.
No way.
Oh, no, this is bad.
Yeah, this is really bad.
Get out of the way. He's on the bullpen mound.
And someone is running onto the... Okay, Thomas, go ahead. You can take this because someone is acting as if they... Maybe it's a dog.
No, it's a skunk.
But no one's running.
It's a skunk. Look at it,
Why is the lady going towards it, though, Thomas? How does that make sense to you? That has to be a dog.
No, it's a skunk. Ryan, we know there's skunks here.
There
it's
is
a skunk.
okay, well,
People are running away. It's not a dog. People run towards dogs, Ryan. People don't run away from dogs.
But this girl's not though, Tom. She's now opening the gate to get to the skunk.
Well, she's a skunkologist, I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm afraid right now.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Where's the skunk? I've lost sight of it. And that's the worst part. is when
That's
you
the
lose
worst
sight
part when you lose sight of
the
it.
skunk. I'm now going to stand up.
It's not up here, Ryan.
No, it's not up here.
The skunk it's under the bleachers. People are trying to find. We could be playing the baseball game at this point. It's not on the field, but I think everyone, including the people on the field, are interested in what's going to happen with this skunk. This could be really bad.
Yeah. My heart rate's gone up.
Yeah. If
So
it's
people who don't know, we actually had a close call on a skunk.
yeah, we had 3 skunks up here.
So we're not immune to being exposed to skunks here at Christie Pitts.
Okay, they're gonna play the baseball game here, but it's not gonna be pretty if that thing. Oh, there it is. It's right underneath everyone. Here's a ground ball to second base. Jose Venezio has a tough hop. He throws it on to first, and the inning is over. The Toronto Maple Leafs escape damage, and the fans will try and escape damage
I see it.
as well from the skunk. You see it. We'll keep you up to date within a few moments as we sort out the skunk situation here at Christie Pitts. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. Probably wondering what's going on with the skunk.
Yeah.
It's still down there. Tails down, which I think is good.
Yeah. What amazes me is that there's people sitting down there knowing the skunk's underneath them. And I'm up here and I am not in a good spot mentally right now.
Well, we know where they live, and we know it's not very far from us.
No, I definitely know where they are.
12-3 London Majors over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Batter is Justin Mara. Mara kicked things off with a single, which started a 3-run inning for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the fourth, trying to do the exact same thing here in the fifth. Pitch is low. 2-2 on the Maple Leafs catcher.
Someone in the group chat, or not group chat, the YouTube chat, saying that in 2011, St. Louis, when they became champions in 2011 against Texas, that they had a rally swirl. Does the Pits in
Have a rally
2022
skunk?
develop a rally skunk for the playoffs?
Fisted foul left side.
I'm shooting that idea down.
Are you?
I'm not a skunk guy. I'm
Not a skunk guy.
no. I never had any encounters with a skunk. That's mostly been by design.
I wouldn't be able to go home. I live with people.
I don't know how. Like, what are the first 10 minutes after being sprayed by a skunk? What does that even look like? What does it feel like?
Doesn't look like anything. It smells bad, though. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
What do you do?
Tomato juice.
Yeah, that's. Oh, what a night that.
I think it would last for a long time. Like, I think it would be a couple of days, maybe weeks.
Yeah, it's. Will they spray for no reason? That's kind of my. I say
This
yes.
one is being very well behaved so far.
Yeah. It is.
It's not spraying for no reason. It just wants to watch the ball game, which is fine. Here's a ball hit in the air by John Salazzo. This one's to left and caught in the outfield. John Salazzo put a charge in it, and that's a fantastic play in left field by Byron Reichstein. Two away. Here's Marcus Connect. By the way, still Owen Boone on the mound for the London Majors.
The game has become secondary. In my eyes.
I'm willing to bring it back to the primary at this point. I don't see it anymore.
Yeah.
Check behind me.
Yeah. Well,
We're not in a broadcast booth here in Toronto. If you've been here, we're under a tent on the Christie
Could be
Pitts
exposed by
hillside.
a skunk at any
And
second.
we know where they live. They're under the clubhouse
Press box.
press box.
We got skunk-related chants now from our friends down the third base line.
How can they see that? They're a long way from it.
Well, even I was like the longest time saying that's a dog, and you were adamant that no, I was not seeing a dog.
It wasn't a dog.
No, it definitely wasn't.
That's wishful thinking by you.
Oh, I refuse to believe things, even if I'm told we can see it, until it fits my narrative. So.
Okay.
In that case, I didn't want to see a skunk.
1-2 on Marcus Connect, bottom of the fifth inning. 2 quick outs by Owen Boone to start off this fifth. Swing and a miss by Marcus Connect. A nasty breaking ball down and in. And Owen Boone collects strikeout number 7 as the Maple Leafs go in order in the fifth inning. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Dan Perrier will lead things off for the Maple Leafs. Adam Mara is back on the mound for a fourth inning of work. I guess not quite fourth inning, but appearing in his fourth different inning. It just fouled off at the plate. It's 1-1. Oh, this would be his fourth inning of work, actually.
Yep. Yes, there. Yep.
Came in with nobody out in the third.
Maury's been a guy that's been able to mop up this season, but also a guy that can pitch in high leverage. He's done a bit of both, and today he's being a mop-up guy.
Top of the sixth inning, Perrier fouls one off down the right field line. It's 2-2. Adam Mara's given up 5 runs in this game, but the bulk of those coming in the third and then 1 in the fourth, but has held the majors to zeros in the 5th and 6th so far. Here's a ball hit in the air. This one's to right field and will get down and bounces up against the wall. Or no, that one goes over the wall. Dan Perrier with a home run. Thought it was odd to see a high five coming around first base on a double, but it's not. Dan Perrier with the homer, and that's his 7th of the year. 13-3 London Majors.
Yeah, there's no question this guy has power, right? I mean, small sample size in terms of games played, but he's been absolutely mashing. That was only his 89th at-bat of the season. He now has 7 bombs, so that's quite impressive in terms of pure power. And he's a guy that you got to think next season is going to be a full-time player in this London Majors lineup.
He's playing first base today, and big frame, good swing mechanics.
I think you're looking at getting a 6th inning here from Adamar, 7th and 8th from Sam Green, and then 9th from Franklin Hernandez. I think that's the plan.
Pinch hitter is Phil Whalen. He lines one into the outfield. That's a single. Phil Whalen has 2 home runs this season. One of them was a moonshot to center field here at Christie Pitts about a month ago. Keith Candell in the 9 spot for the London Majors. Candell with a hit in his last at-bat has popped that batting average right back over 300 in the regular season. This could help. A ball hammered out to left field, and that one's lined and caught by Greg Carrington. Candell hit it on the screws, and now there's one away.
And London does have a bench. Obviously, some teams in the league have deep benches, other teams don't. And London is one of the teams that do, and you have to think they're going to be emptying this bench and getting as many guys in as possible. I mean, you look at a guy like Gibson Kraminski, and we got a few other guys too, right? Phil Whalen, obviously one of them. Kieran Bowles, another one. So they got some guys that they can really use in this game to give some guys like Cleveland Brownlee a bit of rest. Because again, they do have their biggest game of the season coming up in less than 24 hours.
This is Jacob Newton. Ball hammered into the outfield. That one gets down. Cutting it off is Marcus Connect. He'll keep that from being a double. Runner comes to third base. That's Phil Whale. First and third, 1 in for the Majors.
And definitely is to get Adamar through this inning, but there is a chance that you might have to use Sam Green a bit early. I think you look at 2 innings from Sam Green. I don't think Takamatsu wants to use him any more than 2 in this inning, or in this ball game.
Richardson was up. Now has sat down. Sam Green, the pitcher, in the bullpen.
I think the Richardson thing may have been just to get him, get him some bullpen tosses in, and the show really begins on Thursday or Friday. Probably Thursday.
Here's Taylor Wright. He's 3 for 4 today. Wright lifts one in the air. This one's down the left field line. It's playable. Salazzo is way out of his reach. Sam Green scampers out of the way of Salazzo, who was trying to like a basket catch on that baseball.
As long as he doesn't have to make any plays near the fence in this game, I think that would be a success for Damon Topley, Garrett Takamatsu, and the Maple Leafs.
Gonzalez has a history of toppling over the left field foul line fence.
Well, I got so bad that last time I even predicted it. I said, oh, there he goes.
Here's the ball hit on the ground. Mara comes home with it, and he got him. Adam Mara with a gutsy play. I think he thought the easiest play was to come home and get Phil Whalen, because you don't usually see that in a 13-3 game, and I think he was right, and he made a throw right on the money to his brother Justin.
Yeah, at this point, you're counting outs, and I think there's no question that, it had to be a nice play, but it was indeed a nice play by Adam Mara, and he makes, I think, really the only play he had. Because I don't think he was getting Taylor Wright at first base.
There's Cleveland Brownlee. Brownlee, 2 for 4 with a strikeout.
Cleveland wants a new bat.
Doesn't want to break the lucky one.
Oh, there you go.
He actually did break his bat in his last at-bat.
Okay, yeah.
So this could be a rotating cast of who's up next in the bat rack of Cleveland Brownlee. Here's a ground ball. Easy play for Jose Venezio. Flip to second base, Dan Mara, and that will do it. But not before a solo home run by Dan Perrier makes it 13-3. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Connor Lewis will lead things off for the Maple Leafs, who trail 13-3 over the London Majors. Lewis is 1 for 2. And his last at-bat missed a home run by a matter of feet in left field. Big swing and a miss, strike one. Swing and a foul back, strike one. Lewis grounds one up the middle. That one gets through. A leadoff single for Connor Lewis, who has been swinging a hot bat. And here's Dan Mara. Dan Mara inserted into this ball game after a couple of innings. took over for Connor Lewis at second base. Then Connor Lewis went to center field. Greg Carrington was pushed over and took Dylan Jacober out of the lineup, but not before he got an at-bat. Grounded out, did Dylan Jacober. Danmar is 0 for 1 so far in this game since coming in. One of very few substitutions that the Toronto Maple Leafs have made in their lineup this year during a ball game. Here's a ball in the dirt. Connor Lewis will advance to second base. That takes out the more likely possibility of a double play. Counts 1-1. Is the skunk back, Ryan?
I have an update. Right field line.
That's a dog.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
There's
a dog.
people moving away from it, though. This time you think it's a dog. I'm confident it's a skunk.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It is.
There's a dog and a skunk. That's worse.
Yeah.
Now that's bad.
Because I was going to say, it's no way it's just a dog because you have everyone now standing up, looking around.
Yeah, they're trying to get the dog away from the skunk.
Right.
The dog is going crazy. They can't catch the dog. Meanwhile, the skunk is getting as agitated as we can imagine. Oh, and there's
oh my goodness.
Oh, there's a skunk getting
Thomas.
close to us now. Oh no.
There is two.
There's two. Okay, so all three skunks are out and about. One's chasing a dog now.
And this one is coming up the hill. Thomas, this is DEFCON 5.
Wait, where? Yeah, just right there.
No, but the other. So those are two skunks right in that spot.
Okay.
But we have a skunk, and you can now see people.
Yeah, there's skunks coming into the broadcast booth.
This
now.
is
2-1 on Danmar.
Can we outrun skunks? Like, I don't. These skunks are going with decent mobility. I'm not.
I can outrun them. Ground ball to third base. That one's booted. It hops into the outfield. Taylor Wright had a tough hop. Could not make the play.
It is moving up the sidewalk.
Where?
It is coming towards us.
I mean, your cable extends about 100 feet, so you can go as far as you want.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to use a decent amount of feet.
Yeah, you're going to need all that road.
I could not be more thankful for this rope.
All right, just keep an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it. You do play-by-play.
Okay.
I'll be the skunk guy.
I thought you were a skunk guy.
Listen, I'm a leader. Like, it goes beyond just the 9-to-5 game day responsibilities.
Meanwhile, the Toronto Maple Leafs have something cooking here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Still trailing 13-3. Damon Topley at the plate. First and third. Nobody out. Greg Carrington is on deck. Topley hits one down the left field line. We keep a close eye on the skunk situation.
That's all I'm doing right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
I missed a comeback.
It's not worth getting sprayed by a skunk.
Absolutely not.
The comeback happens. The Maple Leafs finish fourth in the Intercounty Baseball League. Here's a ball popped up. Is this playable? Perrier gives it a look, and it's out of play. Foul. 0-2 on Damon Topley. Battling here against Owen Boone.
You're sitting back down, which is courageous.
I know you're watching out for the skunk.
Yeah, we have eyeballs on them. There's no question.
London Majors have 13 runs on 19 hits.
I'm having people texting me that I need a run, but I think I'm okay.
You need to watch out for the skunk. That's
No,
what
yeah, there's no question. There's no question.
Another 0-2. Outside, Topley, a stone cold take. It's 1-2.
And I will say this, Thomas. This becomes John Tory's number one job between now and whenever game one might be. I think Mike Lane is the city council here.
Okay.
If you can please.
Inside corner, strike three call. Damon Topley goes down looking. Here comes Greg Carrington.
I think they've gone back in. I'm sure the people in the comments have lots to say.
One away. Greg Carrington trying to put together some kind of okay, skunk update. All right.
You need a sideline reporter, but not for the baseball game.
Yeah. Want to know on Carrington. Ball in the dirt.
But just to
2-0.
provide context one last time, so they're coming out the left side of the press box. Now we have an idea of the location.
The press box is about 20 feet to our right, so we're
Yes.
okay. We're okay for now.
That's an important end to that sentence.
Big swing and a miss, 2-1. Carrington has had a perfect evening so far. 2 for 2. Drove in a run as well. One of 3 Maple Leafs have in this ball game. Carrington hits a ball foul down the left field line.
Oof. It's never a great sign when you hear a solid thump from a foul ball going onto the street.
Carrington has got that batting average up to 299. It's been climbing and climbing as this season has gone on. Fantastic second half for Greg Carrington. That one's in the dirt, 3-2.
Thomas, there have been 2 triples for Maple Leafs this season. Can you name those 2 players that have gotten triples? 1 each.
Connor Lewis?
No.
Okay. Venezio?
No.
Is it Takamatsu?
It is not our beloved manager.
Oh.
No.
Okay, tell me.
It is Greg Carrington
Yeah.
and Connect. Connect had one Friday in Brantford.
Oh, okay.
Both have happened in Brantford.
I could have told you the Connect one. I
Okay.
definitely could have told you the Connect one. Hit in the air, left field line. This one doesn't look playable. It is foul.
Skunk's not coming back out of the press box. Just a quick update.
Okay, thanks. It is out of the press box.
Oh, is it ever out of the press
It's
box?
walking on our extension cord right now.
Yeah, so
What are you doing? I stood up for
Okay, it is coming.
Beautiful looking animals.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Another 3-2.
It's coming.
It's
up
low ball
it is
4.
here.
Oh, where is it? Where is it?
It's coming.
It's not. It's going back. It's going back. You're fine.
It's going back down. Don't worry, guys.
Okay.
You know what they say. It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games until someone gets sprayed.
Yeah, I know. So that's just the second walk of the evening for Owen Boone. Jose Venezio is the batter. Then Jordan Costaldo way upstairs by Boone, who's thrown a lot of pitches now in this ball game. This will be pitch number 100 from Owen Boone. It's a 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Bases are okay. Bases are loaded for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Venezio hammers it right field line, but it's foul. Well, foul. 1 and 2, just
Thomas
loud
is
strike 2.
coming towards us.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Okay. Can it spray from this distance?
No.
Thomas is really close. It's going down the hill. Just keep going, Skunk.
Venezio swings and misses. Strike 3.
This guy not going to move.
We have some fans that are very
Stop.
brave.
He is sitting right beside the Skunk.
I think the worst thing you could do would be to startle it. That's the thing.
I don't know, man.
So all of these darting movements that you're doing here, that's not helping.
You think you can smell my fear? Because I am in a massive amount of fear. See, I don't like that skunk. I don't like that skunk being on the left because now we're kind of trapped in. This went to the left and
I think if it walked under our table, we would still be fine. It just, as long as, if you startle it, that's the problem. And hold on a second, is this Grant Tamane?
It is Grant Tamani.
So
maybe
we were under the impression that
Yes.
Grant Tamane was going to be done for the year.
Yes.
This is huge for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I wonder if this is just him potentially trying to get an at bat in, see where he's at.
It's a good sign to see him taking
Well,
an
the fact that
at-bat.
he's even able to play, I'm not going to go publicly with his injury and all that, but it was his shoulder to say the least.
Yeah.
It was also a gruesome scene. Sean Riley, he was on Guelph at the time. A former teammate of Tamani helped him out just to make sure he was okay and stabilize and all that. But yeah, what a scene. And lost and also all that skunk stuff was that Tamani just decides to make an appearance.
I didn't know he was in the ballpark today.
I saw him. And he was throwing the baseball with his other arm. But,
Really?
yeah. So I think it was his other shoulder that was the victim of the injury. But
So we talk about this Maple Leafs lineup, and there's a lot of guys in the lineup that are a little bit banged up or are out of the lineup due to injury. Dan Mara is a guy we saw back, and he looked like he was taking his hacks. He was playing second base. That's a great sign to see. Tamane swings and misses, strike 3, but a healthy cut at that, and goes down back to the dugout and appears to be okay. Maple Leafs leave the bases loaded, 13-3. London Majors as the Leafs fail to score in the bottom of the 6th inning. We head to the top of the 7th. Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Robert Mullen leading things off for the London Majors. 13-3 London here in the top of the 7th inning. Maple Leafs baseball presented by TD Canada Trust. New pitcher into the game for the Maple Leafs is Sam Green.
It's coming, though, man.
Ryan Eakin's mind is completely lost from the ball game here. I just keep getting tapped on the shoulder virtually every time Scott comes up the hill. If you want any analysis from Ryan, that's out the window. Robert Mullen hammers a ball. This one's to left field, and everyone will just watch it. That is a moonshot from Robert Mullen.
That's great from Mullen.
And it's 14-3. I didn't even see where that landed. I just saw the reaction of the outfielders, which there was none of. Robert Mullen hits home run number 15.
And he's hit a few moonshots. Obviously, moonshots at this ballpark look really big, but quite the home run for Mullen. And what a season he's had.
So Robert Mullen will tie Cleveland Brownlee, his teammate, with 15 homers. Sterling Joseph fouls it off.
So, in the best development of this is that the guys on the third baseline right now, the skunk wants to hang out with them.
Okay. Lots of people want to hang out with the Bushmen. I don't blame them.
Yes. And that crowd come playoff time is only going to grow, both across the whole ballpark, but especially down that baseline.
Check swing, and he went around. Did Sterling Joseph. Strike 2. Sam Green comes in this game with an ERA of 4.70, but he's done a great job for the Toronto Maple Leafs this season. 23 innings pitched, 24 strikeouts. Justin Mara and John Salazzo will come up next inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A ball that Sam Green thought was strike 3. There was almost no reaction from the umpire, and apparently it was. Strike 3 called, 1 away.
Oh, Tom, is this right to our left?
Oh, God. yeah, it is actually. It's the skunk.
Yeah, it's actually too close to my liking.
Oh, it's in the bush now, so we don't know when it's going to come out.
Thomas, this is... I'm almost...
You can go.
Yeah. I might.
Pitch is inside corner. 1-1.
Whoa. Yeah, Thomas, I'm actually thinking of...
No one's keeping you here. Low and inside, 2-1. Pitch is outside to Byron Reichstein. He'll head down to first base on the 3-1 count. And the London Majors have one on with one out. Dan Perrier hit a home run to right center field in his last at-bat. Ryan Eakin has left the broadcast booth, and he is headed to the clubhouse. That will be it for Ryan. he won't be replaced. One and one on Perrier. Coming off that home run to right center field, that was a ball that was just smoked, barely got over the fence. It was on a line to one of the deepest parts in the ballpark. Here at Christie Pitts, swing and a miss on a high fastball, 1-2. Pitch is low, 2-2. Perrier, big cut, fouls it right back. Bowen Cunningham is our graphics operator. He's been giving the skunk updates and keeping an eye out for Ryan and I, but wasn't enough for Ryan as he's left the broadcast booth. Flipped to second for one, on to first, double play. The Maple Leafs will get out of the inning, but still trail 14-3 to the London Majors after the moonshot by Robert Mullen. We head to the bottom of the seventh bats for the Maple Leafs coming up. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Dominico Field as we're coming back from another skunk delay with thanks to efforts from Sterling Joseph, who chases a skunk all the way from right field to left field, and now it's finally off the field out there. It's really a group effort by all three outfielders for the London Majors as they guide the skunk off the field. New pitcher for the Majors is Pedro De Los Santos. And it's been a bit of a different season for De Los Santos. An ERA hovering around 6. Count is 1-1 to Justin Mara. Pitch is high, 2-1. De Los Santos delivers a strike. Check that now, 3-1 count on Mara. Strike 2. De Los Santos delivers low, ball 4. Justin Mara will head down to first base. Last time he was on base to lead off an inning. Resulted in 3 runs for the Maple Leafs. And once again, another opportunity for John Salazzo to get that record for RBIs. It's the last game to do it. Could be his last at-bat. We'll need at least a double to cash in Justin Mara, and pleased to be joined once again by Ryan Eakin.
First off, we forgot last game, the last home game, to give a shout out to Andrew, our great city guy. So I'm not sure if he's listening to this one.
I think we did, didn't we?
I think we forgot. I felt bad after the game,
sorry.
but Andrew, my guy.
Sorry, Andrew.
If we can get this address. I went down, and you know what the issue is, though, Thomas? I went down to just to see if I could see any city people. And I ended up getting stuck talking to Bobby for a solid bit. So that trip wasn't all that productive, but
I think you were just.
I just needed the walk.
Back as the skunk.
Yeah, I just needed the walk one night.
Salazzo rips it foul down the left field line. That was a tomahawk by John Salazzo, and it might have ended up in an apartment building down the left field line. 0-2. This is a huge at-bat for John Salazzo in the grand scheme of things. He would love to put something in the gap. The 0-2. Swinging a ball hit in the air to center field. And the catch is made by center fielder Phil Whalen. Salazzo retired. He just missed that one.
But it is interesting. Let's go back to that conversation that kind of sent me off the broadcast and, mention Tamani, right? I mean, you get a guy like Tamani back, even if he's a guy off the bench, right? You can stick him in left, center, right, second base, if absolutely need be, catcher. So that'd be quite nice and give the Leafs an option, right? Especially also now that a couple guys didn't arrive that they were hoping to. It's just really nice to have a depth piece like that potentially for the playoffs.
Arcus Connect, the batter. One for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts. Mara still on first base.
Franklin Hernandez up in that Maple Leafs bullpen.
Ripped down the line, just foul by Connect. Count is 2-1.
And now it's interesting. You look at Santos pitching this game, that I'd say means he's not going to be the guy pitching in the one-game pennant. So it's quite likely to be Jose Urias, you have to think. But perhaps it opens up the possibility for Fernando Hernandez, who really came on down the stretch and had a real nice outing against the Maple Leafs a couple weeks back. So the London Majors have options.
Connect, swings and misses.
De Los Santos and Connect, two former teammates. Santos spent many seasons with the Maple Leafs and is now on London, and what a get he's been the last 2 seasons.
Way inside, 3-2. Pedro De Los Santos trying to avoid his second walk of the inning. Mara stands on first. Here's the 3-2. Fouled straight back by Marcus Connect. Another 3-2 to Connect. Inside, ball 4. 2-on for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And here comes Connor Lewis, who's been swinging as hot a bat as anyone in this ball game. Just missed a home run 2 at-bats ago. And a ringing single in his last at-bat as well.
And this 6th spot in the Maple Leafs lineup really is open, right? Whether it's a Dan Mara, a Topley, or a Lewis, really is open. And right now, I think you have to say Lewis should be the guy in that spot come game 1 of the playoffs.
This one's hit on the ground. To second for 1, on to first. It gets away and ends up in the London Majors bullpen. 1 run will come around to score. That's Justin Mara, and it's 14-4.
You can't deny the height that London has in their first baseman. There's no question he's the tallest first baseman in the league. But that wasn't really that kind of play. It wasn't overthrown in terms of going over someone's head. It's not a great throw, and it keeps it in real life for the Maple Leafs.
Dan Mara is the batter, takes strike 1. Ball hit on the ground. Perrier waits on it, gets a high, friendly hop, and that will retire the side for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but they do cash in a run on the throwing error by second baseman Jacob Newton. 14-4, London Majors lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We head to the top of the 8th. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Phil Whalen will get his second at-bat of the evening. Pinch hit for center fielder Andrew Lawrence. Whalen singled in his first at-bat. Franklin Hernandez, the new pitcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he has been the king of strikeouts when it comes to the Maple Leafs this season.
And Hernandez will only pitch one inning for the Leafs in this ball game.
Pitch is high, 2-0. Franklin Hernandez sitting at an ERA of 2.81. A 1-1 record as the pitch is way outside, but 27 strikeouts in 16 innings. 27, almost 2 strikeouts per inning.
And you'll see him in this position come playoff time. Hopefully not in a 14-4 ball game, but in that 8th inning role, really trying to get the Maple Leafs to the back end of their bullpen with Dustin Richardson.
But he starts off Phil Whalen with a 4-pitch walk. And it brings up Keith Candell.
Shortstop Keith Kendall.
And Franklin Hernandez last outing, he was part of that 18-5 win over the Brantford Red Sox, pitched 2 innings and struck out 5. Hernandez had 4 strikeouts in 2 innings versus Hamilton, then 4 in 2 innings versus Welland, and struck out the side versus Barrie. That's how things have been going for Franklin Hernandez on the mound. There's a strike, 1-1. Another one low, 2-1. Franklin Hernandez so far throwing 6 balls and just 1 strike. Right down the middle, 2-2. Keith Candell, the batter, and then Jacob Newton on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Franklin Hernandez gets strikeout number 30 in his 9th game of work.
Second baseman Jacob Newton.
And there's one away. Jacob Newton 2 for 5 with an RBI. Over the outside corner, strike 1. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
We said it with Boone earlier and how, the velocity coming out with his fastball, and you can see it with Hernandez too. There's no question that he can really throw it with his fastball.
Yeah, check that as well. Strikeout number 28 on that last one for Hernandez. High, 1-2. Jacob Newton came into this game batting .368, 7 home runs, 32 RBIs. See, Newton and Austin Wilkie occupy the leadoff batter position. There's another strikeout for Franklin Hernandez. Newton goes down swinging.
And what a weapon a guy like this could be out of any team's bullpen come playoff time, right? When you talk about it, it's one of the things everyone talked about with the Blue Jays heading into the trade deadline, saying you just need a guy that can come in with guys on base and get a couple strikeouts. And there's no question Hernandez can be that guy. He's going to have to be that guy for the Maple Leafs beginning late this week.
Here's Taylor Wright. 3 for 5, 4 RBIs. Had a fantastic evening here at Christie Pitts. The 0-1 from Hernandez. Fouled straight back. Good cut by Wright. But once again, Franklin Hernandez has a majors batter in an 0-2 hole, trying to strike out 3 in the inning. Oh, 2. Just inside, 1-2. London Majors have 14 runs on 20 hits this evening. It's been an offensive explosion capped off by a 10-run third inning. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Franklin Hernandez. And now that is strikeout number 30 on the season for Hernandez. Good inning of work, good final tune-up for a big reliever come playoff time for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. London Majors 14, Maple Leafs 4. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Damon Topley will lead things off for the Maple Leafs against Pedro De Los Santos, who delivers inside, ball 1. Topley hits a ball on the ground. Throw to first. 1 away. Taylor Wright gets Topley.
At this point of the game, I'll take a first pitch ground now. I won't lie. Timing wise, not too bad. It's 10:20. We begin this game at 7:30, so it's gonna be around a 3-hour ball game.
With some delays for skunks. I mean, we had a good 7 or 8 minute delay while the London Majors outfielders chased a skunk off the field.
So
Phil Whalen, Sterling Joseph, and Byron Reichstein all kind of corralled one. It was like herding sheep.
The nags were starting to say, like, don't come too close. Like, make it go that way. Like,
Yeah.
By that way, we can't see me. So, like, to the soccer field, right? Maybe
Yeah.
the soccer players' problems, but there's always been delays at Chris defense. So the Panthers had a Cuban, and he would always have a toothpick in his mouth. And I think it was Topley that when he was batting, he was not happy with that because he said the toothpick, he could see it and it was bothering him. So that was a massive delay as to whether or not the umpires had to ask him the pitcher to remove his toothpick. There's been other incidents too. A drone to close out the 2014 season against the Baycats. There was a drone flying around. But the Skunks, Thomas, they take the cake.
All fouled off by Greg Carrington. One and two on the number 9 hitter and now left fielder for the Maple Leafs. Ball hit on the ground. Pedro De Los Santos is going to have to make a play. It's a tough one. Throw on to first. Owen is going to go down the line, scatters the London Majors dugout, and it hits a lot of them in the dugout as well. That was a tough play for Pedro De Los Santos. Threw that ball faster than his fastball on the first base, and it went down the line. Carrington will reach first base. Could be an infield hit. Yeah, it will be an infield hit. So Carrington is now 4 for 4.
You know what that means?
Penny's player of the game. Yeah.
Yes. And he hasn't gotten it all season. I don't believe.
Really?
Maybe you have recalled the time where he's won Penny's player of the game, but I think this is going to leave.
Connor Lewis would be the only other candidate.
Yeah. And I was going to say that would only leave Connor Lewis is the only guy not to take Penny's player of the game throughout the regular season.
I think it's Carrington. 4 for 4 is good. Got that batting average over 300. He will now finish the season as a 300 batter in the Intercounty Baseball League. That'll be something.
Well, he's going to hope he doesn't come up in the ninth in that.
I don't. He'd be at 301 if he came up.
Yeah, that's right. He won't have to pull a Jose Reyes and taking himself out of the game on the last day of the regular season to bat 300.
I mean, that probably does a lot for your contract with Major League Baseball as well. Yeah, I bat 299. Oh.
Yeah, 200 hitter. Yeah,
you only 200 hitter, yeah.
Yeah.
Venezio fouls it off. De Los Santos has Venezio in an 0-2 hole. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Pass ball from Pedro De Los Santos, and there's 2 away. So Grant Tamani is going to get another at-bat, and we are watching this at-bat.
Well, Venecio's going to make sure he just heads back without saying anything that can put anything in jeopardy come next week.
Yeah, I read his lips. He was saying something about a toothpick.
Yeah, something along those lines. I was reading the exact same thing. It's just really nice to see, though, Tamani come back. I mean, he was pretty devastated after the injury. Maybe it wasn't as bad as even I thought it to be. But nonetheless, a massive addition for the Maple Leafs, even if he's an option off the bench, because if he can pinch or run, if he can hit, if need be, play a different position, he can really be the Leafs' Swiss Army knife.
Hits one on the ground, 2 healthy cuts for Grant Tamani. Throw on to first for a hustling Grant Tamani down the line. And we head to the top of the 9th inning. London Majors 14, Toronto Maple Leafs 4. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust.
for London, DH.
Welcome back to Dominico Field for the top of the 9th inning, and we have some explaining to do. First, we'll start with Greg Carrington, who will be making his IBL debut as a pitcher on the mound. He moves from center field to pitcher. Dustin Richardson comes into the game. He's going to play left field. Center field is Grant Tamane, so obviously feeling healthy enough to be out there on the outfield with that shoulder injury. Marcus Connect is in right, and then things continue to get interesting as Connor Lewis comes in. He plays third base. Jose Venezio is at short. Dan Mara at second. Damon Topley at first, and then behind the plate is Justin Morrow, whose catches Carrington, who's thrown 2 balls to start things off and then almost hits Cleveland Brownlee, 3-0. So Brownlee will head down to first base. A 4-pitch walk for Greg Carrington and his first attempt on a mound in the Intercounty Baseball League.
The immediate idea is that, oh, how cool, like Greg Carrington's pitching, and then you realize if you can't throw a strike, it might be a really long half inning. But hey, Greg wanted to pitch prior to the game, and Dustin was talking about playing some outfield, and Jared Takamatsu is a man of the people. He's letting these guys do what they want tonight on the has a last day of school.
Takamatsu is a baseball player.
It's just not the ideal. It's not the IBL. He's a baseball manager, though, in the IBL.
There we go. Strike 1. He faces Cleveland Brownlee and Robert Mullen to start off his IPL debut.
It's easy. It's going to get a double play.
Inside, Robert Mullen hit a moonshot home run in his last at-bat.
Oh, there's a chance that happens again, 100%. But I think Carrington's got something in his back pocket here.
High, 2-1. Uh-oh.
Yes?
Okay, we're just going to ignore the skunk on the field. That's fine.
Oh. I don't see. Oh.
Here's a ball hit in the air by Robert Mullen. Going back is the left fielder, Dustin Richardson. He makes the catch on the warning track. He takes a hit away from Robert Mullen. So a position player on the mound and a pitcher in the outfield, and Dustin Richardson.
If you told me prior to the game, Carrington would be on the mound, Dustin would be on the left, and the skunk would be in right beside Connect, I would say, you know what, I believe that at Chrissy Pitts on a Tuesday night.
The skunk it's right there, but we're just ignoring it. Everyone pull the ball if you're a righty or if you're a lefty.
Oh, it'd be gutless if Joseph pulls this ball to right field right now.
Richardson had to go right back to the wall, found the fence, made the catch. Well done. Ripped into the outfield, and that's foul called by Dustin Richardson. Okay, now we are going to address the skunk on the field here.
Yeah. And Connect's going up to it, and Marcus, like, he's going right up to it, and he's now making a jump.
Oh, and you know what? He won the battle.
But now it's coming to the London bullpen. But it's by design going to the London bullpen.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's walking right up on the baseline.
Check swing, strike 2. Hold on a second. Greg Carrington is ahead in the count to Starling Joseph. Way outside. That may have been a breaking ball attempt.
They always say at Christy Pitts, heads up on the hill. The tip of for baseballs and what have you, but you never know what you'll see of it. Any given day at Christy Pitts.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah?
2-2. 3-2. Just missed.
I hear Edwin Diaz's walkout being played It's ambient noise through Christy Pitts. I don't know where the music's coming from, though. It's not coming from the Leafs.
The trumpets?
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it in the music. Well, it can't be the only one.
That's a great walkout.
Yeah,
That video has been flooding social media a little too much, but it's good. Here's a ground ball. This could be two. Flip to second for one. Throw on to first. In time, double play. Greg Carrington must have sealed the deal for player of the game.
Yes, absolute player of the season.
A scoreless inning for Greg Carrington, including a double play and a great play in the outfield by, well, one of the pitchers, Dustin Richardson, in left. 14-4, London Majors lead. Last chance for the Maple Leafs. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here with you. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Some more defensive changes for the London Majors. Gibson Krasinski comes in at third base. Taylor Wright moves to first.
They're going to go on a bit of a delay here.
Skunk 1 moves to right. Skunk 2 moves to right center.
Well, Joseph's refusing to play, and rightfully so. I mean, how can you?
Yeah, Joseph's going to play, and he says, let's just go.
He's going to play some shallow right field.
Yeah, he's just going to stay away from the Skunks. There's a big gap to shoot for Justin Mara, but for the Skunks' safety, please, Justin, go the other way.
Yeah.
The Skunks' life depends on Mara going the other way.
Has this been your most interesting night yet at Christie Pitts? 2 seasons now, so you got some games under your belt.
No, like there was playoff games that I would put higher up in the interesting category. I'm actually not a fan of this Skunk thing.
Well, either. I just want to sit down.
Yeah. I would rather talk about baseball, but we got to keep each other informed so we don't get sprayed by a skunk.
Too. Half the time people might think it's for the audience. Half the time I'm just convinced myself that it's to be fine.
So, by the way, John Salazzo is out of the game. He would come up to the bat in this inning, so he will not beat Sean Riley's record.
I believe Salazzo has left the ballpark altogether. Sometimes in a blowout game, listen, the guy drives the trains at night. He's, that's what he does. I think he's leaving early and heading out to drive some trains out in Vaughan.
Pitch is inside, ball 4. Pedro De Los Santos once again walks Justin Mara. Mara is an interesting candidate for player of the game. He's not player of the game because he didn't pitch a scoreless inning.
Yeah.
But he's been on base a lot. Walked twice. Not on base.
He's going to finish 2 behind.
Walked 3 times, sorry.
3 times. He's going to finish 1 behind Costaldo for the IBL lead in walks.
All right, here's Dustin Richardson. Richardson, if you don't know, a prominent pitcher on the Toronto Maple Leafs out of the bullpen. He's getting an at-bat. Takes the first pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. The 0-1, Richardson swings and misses. He got a nasty breaking ball from Pedro De Los Santos. Richardson's only pitched in 8 games this season, and he has 2 career at-bats in the IBL. He takes high, ball 1, 1-2. Has not recorded a hit yet. He's actually struck out in both of his at-bats. 1 was a walk, actually. 3 plate appearances. Richardson takes low. Stone cold take from Dustin Richardson.
I think he's going at it with Mullen about just saying, no, that wasn't a strike. He wants this, there's no question.
Richardson battling for that first IBL hit. Here's the 2-2 from De Los Santos. Strike 3 called, and Dustin Richardson knew it. What a way.
No batting gloves. Love it.
He may have been instructed not to swing the bat.
That would be wise managing from Takamatsu.
Okay, well, this is a different story. Here's Marcus Connect. Connect fouls it off. Outside corner, strike 2. 0-2 on Connect. Skunk just playing now in shallow right center field. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Connect.
It's been a great night at Christie Pitts, Thomas. It's what a way to wrap up the season.
Just Skunk thing's a little ridiculous, actually. But
yeah, just hasn't been anyone to really do anything about it.
Here's a ground ball. It goes off the leg of Pedro De Los Santos. Okay.
I was going to say, I knew it was happening.
So it also went off the leg of Connor Lewis.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, that is a silly way to end the ball game. But
More
that would count as an out, by the way, too.
Yeah.
If Justin Marr went and fielded the baseball, he'd be out. 0-1. Inside in the dirt, 1-1.
This likely takes Santos out of any ability to pitch in tomorrow's game against Guelph. There's simply way too many pitchers, so it might have to be Jose Arias really getting that ball and being the ace that he is and going out there and shoving it against Claudio Custodio.
Hammered into left center field. That one gets down and will go all the way to the wall. Connor Lewis adds on a double to his spectacular total tonight. And now they're second and third with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning.
How about the stop sign from Takamatsu? Oh, hey, he's a manager. You got to be critical.
I probably would have put up the stop sign as well.
Yeah, you also don't want Justin running into any 50-50 play and any collision with the London catcher. And
Yeah, you're not just going to submit the ball game either. Right?
yes,
They'll battle right down to the finish.
yes, that is what is happening.
Here's Dan Mara. Dan Mara is 0 for 3. 14 runs on 20 hits for the London Majors. 4 runs on 9 hits for the Maple Leafs. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. 1-2. Topley on deck.
In London now, for the second time in 3 years, force a one-game playoff to determine the pennant. In 2019, it was Baycats Panthers, and now it's going to be London and Guelph.
Yes, they can. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. London Majors will play the Guelph Royals for first place in the Intercounty Baseball League with a 14-4 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And what was an eventful night, and really it was a 10-run third inning by the London Majors. That was the difference maker in this one. From Thomas West and Ryan Eakin, here at Dominico Field at Christie Pitts, this is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Have a good night.